Hey guys, it's Misty Burmeister here. I had a client not so long ago share with me about how devastating it was for her to get feedback in her career. Basically, she had gotten a 360 done on her, the feedback was delivered, and she had no idea what to do with it or how to spring back from it. And so for a couple of years, she really struggled until she finally figured out a way to weave in the feedback to make it useful for herself. I think feedback in our career, sometimes feedback on our parenting styles, on our clothing options, these sorts of things can be very, very challenging. So one of the greatest ways to make this sort of criticism accessible to us, to have it give us value, is to practice in areas where we don't find ourselves so overwhelmed by the feedback. Because at the end of the day, feedback is just information. When we're reacting to the information, that's what makes the feedback difficult and challenging. It's sort of like the sucker punch in our gut is the story we're telling ourselves about what we should know or what we should have done, but we didn't know, and so we didn't do, instead of just recognizing reality and being able to accept it. So when we are practicing in areas where we're less attached to or thinking that we should, then we can take what we did in that situation and use it in the other. Let me give you a real quick little example. If you're in the gym and you're doing a deadlift or something of this nature, a squat, a bench, a deadlift, any sort of movement, and a coach who's well skilled and knows what they're doing comes over and says, you don't know what you're doing. Or maybe not so rough, but even if that is rough. I just got this the other day. A coach came over to me and said, "You're doing this wrong," referring to my deadlift, gave me some pointers, and I took it all in with ease. And then I increased my deadlift by 20 pounds the next week. It was just that quick and that simple because I saw what she was sharing with me as information, not criticism. I was able to do that in that situation because it's just as easier to do it there. And she also had credibility, and that matters a great deal. How she said it, what she said, all the rest of that stuff is less impactful when we know the person is credible and they're coming from a good space, right? So those two pieces are important, coming from a good space and credible. And so, but then, here we are, maybe I'm just a week later, I'm getting feedback on a speech that I did from 3 very credible sources, great coaches, and it's all consistent, all their feedback, but it feels like a sucker punch to me. And I struggled for a few weeks with this feedback until finally I got it. It's just information in an area where I think I should know X, Y, or Z. So by releasing all the shoulds, I was able to receive and shift and learn and grow. So I came up with this little strategy for myself that I want to share with you, and I've shared with a few other people. I think it's very helpful when we're in situations where the feedback isn't leaving us feeling very good. So the first piece is that all start with A's. So accept reality, like accept what is. Abolish that perfectionistic thinking. Just get rid of it. Recognize that we're trying to be perfect, and it's a very natural human thing to do, and just abolish it. Get rid of that. And recognizing again, that we've got to start somewhere. And then finally, appreciate the feedback. We're never, consider all feedback. Consider all feedback to be helpful information for growth. And so if we can take a look at that, accept what we are, abolish the perfectionistic thinking, and then be grateful for or appreciating of all feedback, then we're in a position where we can always learn and grow no matter what information is coming from us or where it's coming from. By recognizing how we do this feedback thing in situations that are easier, it can help us in situations that are not quite so easy. Here's to your greatness.